So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be doing another random opinions about random things. Y'all, I am so sorry that I have been MIA. I haven't been posting this last week or so. I just helped my alma mater, which is the University of Toledo, go Rockets, with their annual Black Student Union fashion show. And when I tell you, we were having practice like 3 times a week and then it ended up being every day. So I just got super busy, but the show was really good, you guys. I'm so proud of the students and everybody that put the show together. The fashion show ended up being really, really good. But nonetheless, I'm back. I know some of y'all been asking, where's the content about the more controversial or just the things that y'all want to hear? I'm coming back, y'all. So as y'all know, we are doing random opinions about random things. Please do not get your panties in a bunch over my opinions. They're random. They are not facts. And I would love to hear some of y'all opinions down below as well. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So my first opinion is the term slut shaming is a cop-out term to make women feel better about being a hoe. I said it right off the bat. I think it's actually shocking that women took over the phrase slut shaming to use it as a defense mechanism whenever someone calls them out on their hoe stuff. The word was originally meant to describe women who were shamed and put down for being victims of sexual assault and things of that nature, not to cover and coddle the feelings of average women who choose the type of imagery they want to show the public and can't handle the heat when somebody tells them what they're doing is hoe shit. Personally, I feel like some women should be owning their slut ways if that's what they decide to do. You can't be deep fried in the overtly sexual oil, and then when you're labeled for the way how you dress, the way how you present yourself, maybe how sexually accessible you are, you want to call it slut shaming. Is it people's place to be opposed or affected by what you're doing? More times than not, absolutely not. However, I don't believe the defense is to tell people that they're slut shaming you. If anything, we do need to bring back shaming. And the original purpose of the phrase slut shaming is not reserved to those who are sexually expressive and sexually liberated and are fine with being that way. My next opinion is Young Miami is trying to salvage her reputation after damaging it. And to be honest, it's like I want to give her grace because I'm in this stage of life where I'm a little bit less hard on women. I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like the way how she went so hard at being P. Diddy's side chick, admitting to her sexual kinks, going back and forth with Diddy's other women, and seemingly wanting to be seen in a demoralizing way, I almost have no sympathy. I feel like a lot of people warned Young Miami and told her that she should bring it on in, not get her feelings involved, told her that she looked dumb, and rightfully so were disgusted when she admitted to liking golden showers. And then, now that it didn't work out for her, she's making a statement saying that she's not going to be sharing her next man and basically trying to make it known that she wants to be seen as a wholesome woman with a wholesome man. And no, I'm not mad at her for wanting those things. I wish that upon her because I feel like every woman deserves a man who compliments her. But I feel like it adds to my credibility when for the past year and a half, I've been saying that this is not a good look. There's no reason why you should be publicly sharing somebody's pulsing, piping penis, and that certain things should just be reserved for your private conversations and not for the whole world to see and hear. But I was called a hater and anti-women and male identified, but look at the result. She's now repenting just like everybody else is. And I think it's interesting to see the shift of young women who have been pushing so many detrimental ideologies onto society now deciding to alter their perception because it didn't work out. I still wish Young Miami the best because I like her personality and I don't know, I just like her, but I definitely don't like her decisions, and I have to say it, I told you so. My next opinion is I'm all for girl code. Like, of course, not dating your friend's ex-boyfriend, using the buddy system to go to the restroom, letting your fellow woman know if she's having an outfit or hair or hygiene issue. I'm all for that. But I don't think siding with women just because they are women is girl code. I actually think it's more detrimental than it is positive because I think it just comes down to personal morals, personal beliefs, and personal approaches to life. And what I mean by that is if I'm going to support, agree with, or promote a woman and whatever she is doing solely because she's a woman, then that's kind of risky and isn't foolproof. I have to agree with everything you're saying or doing for me to fully support you. And I refuse to use gender correlation or just being in the same sex as a reason to support somebody. Now, I will say I am definitely more inclined to support, promote, and believe a woman just because we are women, but you don't get my 100% unwavering support and praise just because we are both women. I think that women have to be careful where we place our support because with there being a current war against women, that means there is a battle against bitches. And I don't say that to be disrespectful. What I do mean is, outside the war against women that is being put onto women by so many outside factors, there are internal battles amongst women-based ideologies or things that we don't all subscribe to, and that's perfectly fine. I guess the most obvious example is, I'm not gonna be so quick to support women who present themselves in an unnecessarily explicit manner just because we both have a uterus and some boobies. I'm not gonna sit up here and support Sukihanna or anybody like her just because we are women. And that's not an attack on Suki or another woman just because you disagree with another woman. It's actually called being human, having your own mindset, and in a lot of cases, simply having a debate of differences, which is very normal and very human. When it comes to Sukihanna, she literally just went on and on and on about how she's in favor of Young Miami, she likes golden showers, and I feel like she's just playing a caricature at this point because she comes off so extra, but it's like, I can't even support that. I don't necessarily believe in unwavering support to women just because we have the same gender identity. I base everything I give energy to based off of my mindset, my morals, and my mentality. My next opinion is, I don't think Latto was trying to come for Coi Leray when she made a comment about how she's smoking on blunts the size of Coi Leray. I think I understood the reference of Coi Leray being thinner or skinnier, whatever you want to label her as, but at the same time, a blunt her size is technically a big blunt, I guess. I didn't think she was trying to come for her, but I see why it came off very weird. I still respect Coi Leray for embracing her natural body, and not just an industry, but a society that makes women feel as though they have to look a certain way to be considered beautiful. I feel like Coi Leray's desirability obviously comes from her being a female rapper with a lot of viral hits, but I think her being petite also adds to it. Her body being represented amongst this cookie cutter industry is something to commend because I'm sure it's challenging to stay grounded and stay confident when you are considered not the standard. But I consider Coi Leray having a good body standard, and she looks way more healthy than a lot of women who have implants or have some work done. So kudos to Coi Leray for remaining her true self. My next opinion is, I feel like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris announcing their rerun for president and vice president is very interesting, but kind of underwhelming as well. Because I don't think Joe Biden or Kamala Harris had the full-blown appeal and satisfaction of the general public within their presidential and vice presidential term. And I'm not necessarily against everything that they have done, but I feel like the president and the vice president has to reflect the generation who is entering adulthood. Because I feel like those of us who are the youngest adults will be the next generation to come. And I feel like most US presidents have just been completely out of touch, at least within my lifetime. I've only lived through like 2 or 3 elections that I can actually remember. I don't know, I just have really been turned off to politics the older I've gotten. I assumed that when I got to college age or just mid-20s like I am in now, that I would care more about politics and things that happen within the Senate and Congress. But maybe I gotta give myself a few more years because I just feel like many politicians are untrustworthy, out of touch, and I don't see the legislation that benefits me. Maybe I should pay attention more, but I really don't subscribe to any political party at this point in my life, and it's going to be up to the next election for, I think, a lot of young people to be convinced by where they stand and what they believe in. We shall see. My next opinion is, I think there are a lot of feminine products that don't actually do anything but cause more feminine problems. For example, in college, I had 5 other roommates and we all shared one bathroom. I know, it was crazy. I'll never do it again. And I remember one of my roommates having the Summer's Eve vaginal body wash, and it was really like popular back then for feminine hygiene body washes to not only be promoted to young women, but seen as a staple piece of your upkeep and your feminine hygiene. And so it was in the shower one day and I used it. And to say this respectfully, I felt like I smelled better using regular water versus using Summer's Eve or Vagisil or anything like that. I'm not sure why Summer's Eve and Vagisil are a thing because I'm sorry, but I think they make you a little bit stinky down there, and I don't think it should be promoted in the way that it is. I'm just being so candid, y'all. I think that companies like this are at risk for potential lawsuits because if you ask me, they throw off your pH balance and doesn't leave you with the best smell. And I feel like now there's this generational debate on women everywhere. Like I told y'all, there's an attack on women, but there's also one about hygiene. It's like if you say that you didn't shower one day out of the week, you're considered dirty. If you say that you don't use a different wash rag for your face and your body, you're considered dirty. It's like if you don't douche yourself, you're considered dirty. If you have a certain diet, you're considered unhealthy and dirty. And I feel like back then it was like if you didn't use some type of feminine wash, you were considered stinky and smelly and dirty, which is not the case. I don't recommend feminine hygiene products, especially if you're trying to prevent smell. I don't think it helps. Just use regular water and whatever soap you have available if you like soap. However, I do recommend our video sponsor. So today's video sponsor is Scentbird, and y'all know I've been all about the fragrance these days. So Scentbird is a fragrance-based subscription service with a mission to empower each and every person to express themselves through scent. Scentbird carries brands like Gucci, Versace, and Prada, and many more of your favorites. So some of my personal favorite scents include warm scents such as vanilla, lavender, and jasmine, and then also bolder scents like wood, leather, and some fruity smells as well. So they must have known what I liked because I received some really good ones. I received Dans Les Bois, which is a bold and intoxicating scent. It has a woody and leather smell, but in a feminine way. Next, I received Sexual Noir. This is definitely giving rich auntie. It has vanilla, which is my favorite, and it's something you wear when you want to attract the man of your dreams. And lastly, I received House of Sillage, Whispers of Truth. This one is definitely the fruity, grapefruit, and citrus smell. This will be like a daytime fragrance as it reminds me of the outdoors on like a sunny spring or summer day. So Scentbird sends you sample sizes of famous brands and fragrance brands so you can test out your favorite scents at a fraction of the size and cost. Their easy tube design promotes a simple delivery of the fragrance sprays and locks and unlocks, which is a safer and more efficient way to travel with them. Store these away and share with others. I encourage everyone to step into their fragrance game at some point because at work, at school, in the club, on a date, smelling good is a priority. So Scentbird gave me a code for my viewers to get money off of your order, to get 55% off of your first month at Scentbird, and your individuality and the power to express yourself through fragrance. Thanks Scentbird, and let's get right back into this video. So my next opinion is, I do think that it is common practice for a lot of high school seniors to get a hotel room after prom. However, I don't think it should be written off as normal. There was a debate on Twitter this past week about after prom activities, and there was a photo that went viral in regards to it. So basically, the debate stated 2 teenagers getting a hotel alone after prom has always been inappropriate, and the only kids who get to do that is the ones whose parents don't give a damn what they do. Every student who attends prom is not a senior and is not 18, so I don't know why y'all keep bringing that up. So the debate went back and forth, and the rebuttal to this is that a lot of kids are 18 by the time they go to prom, they have jobs, they can save up for a hotel room, and there's nothing wrong with it. And in my opinion, I am basically split. Like, on one hand, I think that prom is the night that is your last night being a high schooler, so I understand why a lot of kids just want to get the hotel room, have fun with their friends, and just turn up. But at the same time, let's be honest, most teenagers are getting a hotel room after prom so they can have sex. Like, flat out. I didn't go to prom, and all of my friends told me that I would always regret it, and I don't regret it solely because of the high school that I went to, but I do feel like I missed out on an experience though. But I think the experience wouldn't have happened for me anyway because I didn't even have a prom date, I didn't have a boyfriend, I didn't have anything, so I would have just went home anyway. But for the rest of my friends, they definitely got hotel rooms and they definitely had sex. And one of my friends definitely lost her virginity on prom night, and that is the reality of getting the hotel room. India Royale, who is the baby mother to Chicago rapper Lil Durk, even chimed in on this conversation. She said, "People have been going to the hotel after prom since as long as I've known what prom was. Those are $20 bills on the bed. Add it up. Y'all moms didn't give y'all money for prom weekend festivities?" And India, no, they didn't. My mom did not. And there were so many people backing her up like, yeah, girl, parents be having $10,000 to $20,000 birthday parties for their kids, so they know to give their kids money for the prom. I don't know what fake ass Beverly Hills y'all are from, especially the average black person in America, but my parents barely had $200 to give me for anything. So the fact that there's about $2,000 on the photo that went viral in regards to this conversation, is it possible for a kid to have that much money? Yes, especially in 2023, but is it normal? Let alone should it be normal? Absolutely not. So I kind of feel like kids are gonna do it anyway because it is kind of common practice, like I said. But I do think that the way how kids are in 2023, it's just really scary because it's not as innocent as it would have been 5 or 10 years ago. I think parents just have to be transparent, talk to their kids. You definitely know what's gonna happen, so prepare your child and trust that you've built up enough trust and discipline within your child that even if they do decide that they're going to get a hotel room after prom and do what they do, that they are safe and they definitely have the boundaries that have been set by you. My next opinion is, I think a lot of hairstylists are trying to keep up with the rich rapper baby mama lifestyle, or just the rich girl aesthetic and the influencer aesthetic. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of hairstylists are upcharging extraordinary amounts for their services. Now, we did have this conversation on my channel before, and I plan on doing another video about it because I think the hair industry is evolving and pricing is one of the issues that a lot of consumers have. So there was a post that was on the Neighborhood Talk, and it said, "I don't care how much people try to normalize $600 to $700 braids, go to hell. I'm never paying that. Truthfully, I'm not even paying $300. And to be honest, I absolutely agree. I think that charging $700 for braids is completely asinine, like beyond egregious, like every SAT word I can think of, because in what world is a hairstyle like braids going to cost some people's rent? I'm not paying that for the installation of synthetic braiding hair. Like, absolutely the hell not. I understand that inflation is very real. The cost of everything has gone up, especially in the beauty industry. I also do understand that people do leverage their pricing based off of clientele, their connections, their location, their experience, and in 2023, their social media following. And to an extent, if you do have an abundance of followers, you can kind of charge a little bit more just because it's almost like your name brand and people are paying for the name brand. But I don't think the price of any hairstyle, especially braids, should be out of pocket with what I've been seeing. So somebody commented underneath that and said, I noticed a lot of braiders and stylists seem to be trying to emulate the financial status of rapper baby mamas, and they are using their gullible clients to achieve it. As soon as they do one Love and Hip Hop cast member's hair, bio changes celebrity stylist, and it's $500 per section of hair with a minimum of 4 sections to be completed. P.S. I believe in paying people what they're worth and tipping on top of that. I'm just not dumb though. Y'all be safe. And I definitely agree. Like, I also agree with paying people what they're worth, but some of these things is just completely out of pocket. I think being able to garner a following based off of your cosmetic presence and talent has been a huge factor of why the beauty industry is as expensive as it is. Like I said, there are a lot of other factors, but I think one of the biggest ones is the idea of having a social media platform and being able to leverage yourself based off of the aesthetic that is trendy. I don't think we're ever going to return back to the prices that we're used to, but I think that if the general body of consumers is on the same page about services being overpriced these days, then to me, that means there is a real concern and a real issue. My next opinion is, I think that there should be a penalty for DoorDash or Uber Eats drivers who deliver your food and the bag smells like cigarette smoke. This has happened to me so many times and it's just completely unappetizing. And I think there should be a penalty for it, because how can I enjoy my food when the container smells like the outside of a gas station of the Bluff of Atlanta? Like, no. Like, because no. And I'm not sure how to combat this, but the way how it's happened to me on more than one occasion lets me know that it has happened to other people. And I feel like when it comes to food delivery, there has to be some type of conscious effort on the couriers to deliver that food without any issues. From the food, all of the items that are being delivered, and the packaging should be up to par. I don't care that my food is being delivered in a plastic bag, but I do care that the plastic bag smells like Black & Milds and cigarillos. And I do feel like DoorDash and Uber Eats isn't as aware of this issue as I would think that they would be. I know that for DoorDash, they have those red bags that are insulated that you're supposed to put the food in, but I get my food delivered straight to my door. I don't want to chit chat with the courier because I had an experience where a subscriber recognized me, and luckily it wasn't at my house, but it was under my name. But I just don't want that type of personal interaction, so I usually don't get to see the food leave the car of the driver. I like that DoorDash and Uber Eats offers another option for people to make money on the side, and or if you have a car, it can be a full-time job for you. I think it's very innovative. However, there are some safety and preservation tweaks that they need to be focused on. And I think the whole idea of your food smelling like somebody's car is definitely one of the issues that gets completely underlooked. My last opinion is, I don't like that society has now substituted the word prayer for the word manifestation. I get the point, manifesting the lifestyle that you want and repeating those affirmations can definitely be a positive way to have a positive mindset and hopefully have your dreams and goals come true. I'm not against that. However, I think we have shied away from the idea of prayer, and manifest has kind of taken over that terminology that I think really should just be prayer. Like I always say, I don't mean to get too preachy on here, but I will also never withhold my faith. And so when I see things like manifest being hammered into everybody's vocabulary and it's somewhat synonymous with the word prayer, I do think that it causes me to question what is going on. I don't think most people have bad intentions with saying that they're manifesting a whole bunch of things, but I feel like in order to preserve the strength of one's faith, we can't neglect the fact that prayer should be prioritized over things like manifestation, affirmations, and dream chasing. I think it has to be a conglomerate of all of those things in one, but I definitely think that manifest has been like a word thrown into Generation Z. In some cases, it's overshadowing the power of prayer. I think manifestation should be more or less positive thinking, while prayer is more of a spiritual practice where whoever your God is or your highest power is a part of your journey to whatever it is that you are seeking. Manifestation is not wrong if your intentions are good, but I feel like it's one of those generational trendy words that people just say now, and of course they do compare, but if we're talking about communication with God, in my opinion, prayer is the best way forward. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. Also, don't forget to use my code QUEEN for 55% off of your first month at Scentbird. The link is down below. If you haven't already, go stream my song Ceremony. It is out on all platforms. The link is down below. We definitely gonna make this song in the summer. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
Run a few errands with the bag with the checkers on it. Push it on the floor because it's mine and I'm stepping on it. Get the cheese and keep it wet, so yeah, he call me macaroni. Niggas on my line and now they begging me for matrimony. Detroit nigga touchdown and we to the Coney. Tat it up.